In the dark of night, as the world sleeps, the heart of a believer stirs with an unspoken question. What does it mean to have true faith? Dr. Israr Ahmed, a towering figure of Islamic thought, once spoke about a concept so powerful yet so elusive, Imaan or Yaqeen, faith that is unshakable, certain and absolute. For many, faith is something they grow up with, a part of their upbringing. But Imaan or Yaqeen is different. It is not inherited, it is earned. It is the kind of faith that transcends blind belief, reaching the point where doubt no longer has any room to breathe. It's the kind of certainty that moves mountains. This journey into the heart of faith begins with a question. How do we get to the point where we know without a shadow of doubt that Allah exists, that He hears our prayers, that He will deliver us from our darkest trials? Dr. Israr Ahmed often spoke of this certainty as something that is built through struggle, reflection and understanding. Doesn't come overnight. It is earned through the trials of life, through moments of vulnerability when our hearts are tested. And in those moments when we feel as though the weight of the world is pressing down on us, we are reminded of the words of the Quran. Indeed, with hardship comes ease. To understand Imaan or Yaqeen is to look at life through a lens of purpose. Dr. Israr Ahmed often reminded us that life is a test of patience, perseverance and faith. The trials we face are not random, they are divine wisdom in motion, shaping us, molding us into something stronger. But in those moments of struggle, how easy it is to forget that the trials we face are a means of deepening our faith. There is a profound lesson in every hardship. The believer's response is not to question, not to doubt, but to trust in Allah's plan, even when the path seems unclear. In his lectures, Dr. Israr emphasized that true faith is not born from prosperity, but from adversity. It's the moments when everything seems lost, when we're standing at the edge of the abyss, that our faith is tested. This is where Imaan or Yaqeen takes root. It's the belief that no matter how dark the tunnel gets, there is a light at the end, and that light is the mercy of Allah, guiding us toward a brighter future. But to reach that light, we must first walk through the darkness with unwavering trust. But faith, as Dr. Israr often reminded us, is not just a feeling, it is a choice. It is the choice to place our trust in Allah despite the circumstances around us. Imaan or Yaqeen is not a passive state. It requires action. It requires a person to seek knowledge, to strive in worship, and to make the effort to strengthen their relationship with Allah. Dr. Israr spoke of how the prophets of Allah faced trials far greater than we can imagine, yet they never wavered in their faith. They showed us the ultimate example of how to endure hardship with dignity, how to call upon Allah in moments of desperation, and how to keep moving forward even when the world seems against us. It is in the quiet moments when the world around us is silent that the true strength of our faith is revealed. Dr. Israr Ahmed often said that the believer's heart is like a garden. If it is watered with knowledge, patience and remembrance of Allah, it will flourish. But if neglected, it will wither away, overtaken by doubt and uncertainty. Imaan or Yaqeen is the water that nourishes the garden of the heart, keeping it strong, vibrant and alive. Dr. Israr Ahmed's teachings remind us that Imaan or Yaqeen is not a solitary journey. It is a communal journey, one that is made stronger by the support and guidance of others. It is the shared belief of a community that strengthens the individual's faith. In the hadith, the Prophet Muhammad PBUA tells us that the example of the believers in their love, mercy and compassion for each other is like that of a body. When one part of it hurts, the whole body feels the pain. This is the essence of community, the power of Imaan or Yaqeen in collective form. In the company of believers, our faith grows. We find solace in one another, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. Dr. Israr often highlighted the importance of seeking knowledge together, of discussing the signs of Allah in the world around us, and of helping one another when the weight of the world becomes too much to bear. This unity is what sustains us, and it is through the bond of Imaan or Yaqeen that we become stronger together. It is a reminder that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves. In the final moments of reflection, Dr. Israr Ahmed's words echo in our hearts. Imaan or Yaqeen is not just about belief in Allah's existence, it's about belief in His promise. The promise that no matter how hard the journey may be, no matter how many times we fall, He will always be there to lift us up. True faith is rooted in this certainty, this deep and unshakable trust in Allah's plan for our lives. As we walk through life, facing the ups and downs, the doubts and the fears, we are reminded that our faith is not just for the good times. It is most needed in the darkest hours. It is in those moments that our belief in Allah's mercy and wisdom becomes the strongest. Dr. Israr's teachings are a reminder that Imaan or Yaqeen is a process, a journey that takes a lifetime to complete. But with each step we take, our faith becomes clearer, our hearts become stronger, and our connection with Allah deepens. As the believer's heart strives for that unshakable faith, Imaan or Yaqeen becomes not just a state of mind but an ongoing pursuit. Dr. Israr Ahmed often spoke of how our understanding of faith evolves through personal growth and spiritual struggle. He reminded us that faith is like a seed, one that needs nourishment and care, and just like a plant, it requires sunlight and water to grow. The sunlight is knowledge and the water is reflection, remembrance of Allah and action in the world. It's the balance of these elements that helps to cultivate true belief. In moments of doubt, when it feels like the world is closing in, that is when the seed of faith must be nurtured the most. When we feel overwhelmed by the pressures of life, we must turn back to the foundation of Imaan or Yaqeen, and that foundation is built upon understanding Allah's names and attributes. Allah Al-Wadud, the most loving, Al-Hakim, the all-wise. Understanding these names gives us the strength to face our fears and doubts, because we know that the one who holds our heart in His hands is full of mercy, love and wisdom. One of the most profound aspects of Imaan or Yaqeen is its ability to bring peace into the believer's life. Dr. Israr Ahmed often pointed out that peace is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the presence of faith. True peace comes when one of the most profound aspects of Imaan or Yaqeen is its ability to bring peace into the believer's life. Dr. Israr Ahmed often pointed out that peace is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the presence of faith. True peace comes when we surrender our worries to Allah, trusting that He is in control of everything. It is the peace of knowing that every trial, every moment of pain is not a punishment but an opportunity for growth, for purification of the soul. As we deepen our faith, we begin to see every hardship as a reminder from Allah that He is drawing us closer to Him. When we feel lost, it is not because Allah has abandoned us, it is because He is testing us, giving us the opportunity to strengthen our connection with Him. The peace of Imaan or Yaqeen is the peace that transcends our circumstances, the peace that remains even in the storm, because it is grounded in the unshakable belief that Allah's plan is always for our best. But even in the peace of Imaan or Yaqeen, we face moments where we feel disconnected, moments where the whispers of doubt try to seep into our hearts. Dr. Israr Ahmed warned that these doubts are a natural part of the human experience, but they do not define us. It's important to acknowledge these feelings and address them with wisdom, not fear. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. The refusal to seek answers is. The believer's journey is not about eliminating doubt, but about strengthening faith through knowledge and reflection. In the Quran, Allah tells us, "Ask and you shall be given." This is not just about material things. It is about asking for guidance, asking for understanding, asking for the strength to overcome our doubts. Dr. Israr often emphasized that seeking knowledge is a form of worship, a way to draw closer to Allah. And when we seek knowledge with sincerity, with the intention to strengthen our Imaan or Yaqeen, we begin to see that the answers are always there, hidden within the beauty of creation, within the verses of the Quran, and within the hearts of those who walk the path of truth. The power of Imaan or Yaqeen is not just in how it transforms us internally, it is also in how it impacts the world around us. Dr. Israr Ahmed spoke passionately about the societal responsibility of the believer. When we are certain in our faith, when our trust in Allah is unshakable, we become beacons of light in a world filled with darkness. We become examples of patience, kindness, and justice. It is through Imaan or Yaqeen that we fulfill our purpose as caretakers of the earth, as those who stand for truth and righteousness. When we truly embody the teachings of Islam, we are not just followers of faith, but active participants in the world around us. We become the change we wish to see, not by force, but by the example we set. The believer's heart is not just for themselves, it is for the betterment of society. As Dr. Isra often said, faith is a tool for action. It is not meant to be passive. It is meant to move us to do good, to stand for justice, and to lead with compassion. As the video draws to a close, we reflect on the journey of Imaan or Yaqeen. It is a journey of constant growth, constant learning, and constant trust in Allah. Dr. Israr Ahmed's teachings remind us that this journey is not one we walk alone. It is a collective path that we walk with our community, with the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah as our guide. And while the path may be long and filled with challenges, the destination is worth every step. For those who struggle with doubt, for those who feel lost, Iman or Yaqeen is the light that can guide them home. It is the peace that can calm their hearts and the strength that can carry them through any trial. Dr. Israr Ahmed's life and work remind us that true faith is not just an abstract idea, it is a living, breathing force that shapes our lives, our actions, and our world. And if we are patient, if we trust in Allah's wisdom, we too can attain the certainty that comes with Iman or Yaqeen. In every believer's journey, there are moments of intense longing, the yearning to feel closer to Allah. Dr. Israr Ahmed often spoke of the power of Iman or Yaqeen to bring the believer closer to their Creator, a closeness that transcends the worldly concerns and fleeting distractions that surround us. The deep connection with Allah is the reward of having true faith, a faith that doesn't waver, no matter the circumstances. It is not a faith born out of convenience, but one forged in the fire of trials, the kind of faith that is present even in the quiet moments when no one else is watching. In the deep silence of prayer, when the believer stands before Allah in their most vulnerable state, Iman or Yaqeen speaks louder than words. It is the profound certainty that no matter how alone we may feel, we are never truly alone. Allah is with us, watching over us, listening to our hearts, and guiding us with wisdom only He possesses. When we come to understand that Allah is closer to us than our jugular vein, that is when our faith becomes unshakable. The realization that the one who created us is always by our side, ready to offer His mercy and forgiveness, brings peace to the heart in a way that nothing else can. As the believer's faith strengthens, so too does their resolve. Dr. Israr Ahmed emphasized that Iman or Yaqeen is a force that can overcome any obstacle. The believer with unwavering faith becomes an unyielding force in the world, resilient in the face of adversity, calm in the storm, and certain in the belief that every trial has a purpose. It is this certainty that carries us through life's challenges, even when it feels as though the world is crumbling around us. In the Quran, Allah reminds us that those who believe and are patient are promised reward beyond imagination. Iman or Yaqeen brings the strength to endure and to thrive, even when everything around us seems uncertain. It is the knowledge that this life is temporary and that the ultimate reward lies in the hereafter that gives the believer the courage to keep going, even when the road seems long and the night seems endless. The believer understands that every moment of difficulty is an opportunity to grow closer to Allah, an opportunity to purify their heart and soul for the eternal life that awaits. Dr. Israr Ahmed also spoke of the power of reflection in strengthening Iman or Yaqeen, reflection on the signs of Allah, on the beauty of creation, and on the experiences of life itself enables the believer to connect more deeply with their faith. The believer's heart is constantly in a state of reflection, seeking the wisdom in every experience, every moment of life, and every trial. This reflection is not merely about looking at the external world, but also about introspection, looking inward, understanding the heart and purifying it from doubts and worldly distractions. Through reflection, the believer begins to understand the wisdom behind the trials they face. Dr. Israr emphasized that the difficulties we face are not punishments, but tools of purification. They are the tests that allow our faith to grow, that help us shed the layers of doubt and confusion, and that bring us closer to the certainty of Imaan or Yaqeen. This reflection is also a reminder of Allah's mercy. Even in our darkest moments, His mercy is greater than our struggles, and His plan is far superior to our limited understanding. One of the most profound manifestations of Imaan or Yaqeen is the believer's ability to forgive. Dr. Israr Ahmed explained that true faith is not just about holding on to Allah's mercy, but extending that mercy to others. Forgiveness is a reflection of the Imaan or Yaqeen within, a demonstration of the believer's trust in Allah's judgment. It is the understanding that Allah is the ultimate judge, and our role is to reflect His mercy and compassion in our relationships with others. In the Quran, Allah tells us that forgiveness is a sign of greatness, and whoever forgives and makes reconciliation, his reward is due from Allah. Forgiveness is not about forgetting the hurt or the pain, but about freeing the heart from the chains of resentment and anger. It is about trusting that Allah will take care of the wrongs done to us, and that in forgiving others, we are making room in our hearts for His mercy. When the believer practices forgiveness, it strengthens their faith because they are putting their trust in Allah's infinite wisdom and grace. Finally, Dr. Israr Ahmed's message about Imaan or Yaqeen can be summarized in the belief that this certainty is the ultimate source of peace and strength. As the believer walks through life armed with Imaan or Yaqeen, they become a living testament to the power of faith. Dr. Israr often said that when the believer's heart is filled with this certainty, nothing in the world can shake them. They become steadfast in their belief, unwavering in their trust in Allah, and unyielding in the face of hardship. The journey of Imaan or Yaqeen is not an easy one. It requires patience, resilience, and an unshakable belief in Allah's wisdom and mercy. But the reward, both in this life and the hereafter, is beyond comprehension. The believer who achieves Imaan or Yaqeen walks through life with the confidence that Allah is always with them, guiding them, supporting them, and leading them toward the ultimate success. And when the believer reaches this state, they realize that they have found the peace and strength they had been seeking all along, because true peace lies in the certainty of faith.